Space Shuttle Challenger disaster, 1986 to 2001, Mir. November 2000, First International Space Station Mission. February 1st, 2003, Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. Countdown. To the rocket scientist, you are a problem. You're the most irritating piece of machinery he or she will ever have to deal with. You and your fluctuating metabolism, your puny memory, your frame that comes in a million different configurations. You're unpredictable. You're inconstant. You take weeks to fix. The engineer must worry about the water and oxygen and food you'll need in space, about how much extra fuel it will take to launch your shrimp cocktail and irradiated beef tacos. A solar cell or a thruster nozzle is stable and undemanding. It does not excrete or panic or fall in love with the mission commander. It has no ego. Its structural elements don't start to break down without gravity, and it works just fine without sleep. To me, you are the best thing to happen to rocket science. The human being is the machine that makes the whole endeavor so endlessly intriguing. To take an organism whose every feature has evolved to keep it alive and thriving in a world with oxygen, gravity, and water, to suspend that organism in the wasteland of space for a month or a year, is a preposterous but captivating undertaking. Everything one takes for granted on Earth must be rethought, relearned, rehearsed. Full-grown men and women, toilet-trained, a chimpanzee dressed in a flight suit and launched into orbit. An entire odd universe of mock outer space has grown up here on Earth. Capsules that never blast off, hospital wards where healthy people spend months on their backs masquerading zero gravity, crash labs where cadavers drop to Earth in simulated splashdowns. A couple years back, a friend at NASA had been working on something over in Building 9 at the Johnson Space Center. This is the building with the mock-ups, some 50 in all, modules, airlocks, hatches, capsules. For days, Renee had been hearing an intermittent squeaking racket. Finally, he went to investigate. Some poor guy in a spacesuit running on a treadmill suspended from a big, complicated gizmo to simulate Martian gravity. Lots of clipboards and timers and radio headsets and concerned looks all around. It occurred to me, reading his email, that it's possible in a way to visit space without leaving Earth, or anyway, a sort of slapstick, surreal make-believe edition, which is more or less where I've been these past 2 years. Of the millions of pages of documents and reports generated by the first moon landing, none is more telling, to me anyway, than an 11-page paper presented at the 26th annual meeting of the North American Vexillological Association. Vexillology is the study of flags, not the study of vexing things, but in this case either would fit. The paper is entitled Where No Flag Has Gone Before, Political and Technical Aspects of Placing a Flag on the Moon. It began with meetings 5 months before the Apollo 11 launch. The newly formed Committee on Symbolic Activities for the first lunar landing gathered to debate the appropriateness of planting a flag on the moon. The Outer Space Treaty, of which the United States is a signer, prohibits claims of sovereignty upon celestial bodies. Was it possible to plant a flag without appearing to be, as one committee member put it, taking possession of the moon? A telegenically inferior plan to use a boxed set of miniature flags of all nations was considered and rejected. The flag would fly. But not without help from the NASA Technical Services Division. A flag doesn't fly without wind. The moon has no atmosphere to speak of, and thus no wind. And though it has only about 1/6 the gravity of Earth, that is enough to bring a flag down in an inglorious droop. So a crossbar was hinged to the pole.